Welcome to the Jan Meeuwsen Garden Show on 99.7 and 1450 WHTC. It's your opportunity to learn more about your garden and your yard, about dealing with pests, and about taking care of the birds. You can be part of the show with your questions at 395-1450. That's 395-1450. And now, from De Bruyne Seeds on Washington Avenue in Zeeland, here's the master gardener, Jan Meeuwsen.
And good morning, everyone. What a lovely day we have today outside. It is supposed to be like this for the next week. I'm going to take it, going to love it, and going to praise God for every little ounce of sunshine that we have gotten today. This is a lovely day to be outside, be in your garden. And yes, Jan is live and in the studio today, so you can call up. I am back from Houston. I had to be down there for a trade show last week, but I am now back. You can give us a call, 616-212. No, that's not right. 616-395-1450. I'm going to give you my cell phone number there. I don't know why. My new engineer, Maura, is just looking at me like, what are you doing? That's not the number here. Okay, but the number here is 616-395-1450. If you want to give us a call and ask a question or ask me how the trade show went. Saw a lot of new things. Don't know if they're ever going to get up here into Michigan, but there's a lot of new things out there this year. A lot of people have ideas. So it's kind of fun to go get a little more energized into coming back and going to work. I'm going to remind you of the 2024 De Bruyne Pet Calendar will be coming out this fall, but I need your pictures of your pets to make a pet calendar. So if you could give me your pictures, cute pictures of your pets. And honestly, I don't care what the pets are. I've got some cows. I've got some ducks already, along with dogs and cats. But if you got a snake or an iguana, I don't care. That can be a pet. Just give me your pictures, or you can email them to me at debruyneseed@gmail.com. That is DEBRUYNS as in Sam, EED @gmail.com. Or you can just bring in the originals and I will scan them in and I'll give you your original pictures back. We've got some really cute ones this year. I say that every year, but I don't understand how people can take such wonderful pictures of their pets. They must be there with the camera 24 hours a day with the camera in their hand for when these pets look their most adorable, because every time I take a picture of one of my pets, it's usually looking at me like, what in the world do you want now? And they're not doing the cute thing they were just doing. So, but don't make that your, that you have to have, a cute picture, just a picture. That's what my cat's going to be, is just a picture. I have a black cat. It is hard to take a picture of a black cat and not have it look like just a great big fur ball on the floor. I have found that out, but hey, it's my black cat, so it will be in there. But want to get yours in there too. So get them over to me. I'd like them by the end of September, so I have a little time to play around with them. But if that doesn't happen, just give them to me. I will, whenever this fall. I like to get them out by Thanksgiving, and I'll let you know on the air. And if you emailed me one, I will email you a little reminder that your calendar is ready to pick up. You get one calendar for free. The rest is it's a fundraiser we do for Island Dog and Save a Gato down in Puerto Rico. So if you would, if you need more than one calendar, if you could just give a small donation for that. I mean, I'm not going to tell you you've got to give me $20 per calendar. A lot of people give me a $5 or a couple bucks. But yeah, something like that. And it's our big fundraiser for the year, even though we don't make that much money, but it is a fundraiser that we do. And I'm going to remind you, coming up, the drum roll here, we're going to have my Tuesday show on October 3. In fact, we're going to have all of Talk of the Town. featured at DeBrine Seed Store in Zeeland, Michigan. I think Kevin Kleinstra, our mayor, will be on between 9:30 and 10, and then I'm on from 10 to 11. But we will have some sales going on in the store. You can come in and be on the air with us or ask us questions right in person. We'll have some cookies. I don't think coffee, but I'm sure we will have lemonade because we always have lemonade at DeBrine's. But yes, it should be a fun time for all. So you can be part of that. Not really sure where I'm going to have I guess it's wherever they want to put me. I guess it's up to the guys that come from WHTC where we're going to be. So I think this will be fun. They've never come and done a remote from DeBrine Seed. Not that we're huge, but I think this will be a great time. Again, that's Tuesday, October 3. So it's not this Tuesday, but the Tuesday after that will be live and in person, and you can be live on WHTC, and you don't have to call in. You can be right there at the store and ask your questions. Okay, other things that are happening. Yellow Jackets. My goodness sakes, it is out of control this year, as far as I'm concerned, with the amount of people that have come in or called me about Yellow Jackets, especially those little ground ones that dig or they don't dig, but they find an abandoned rat or vole or mole hole or run, and they make their little nests in there. And their nests are not little. They just keep expanding out into all the little rooms that these rodents had, and they can be huge. There can be thousands of these Yellow Jackets in there. So, yes, you can get rid of them. If you've got Sevin, Sevin, if you've got that with the old formula of carbaryl as the active ingredient, that is an extremely good bee killer. So you can just, at night, when they're not flying around or very early in the morning, you can go there very quietly and just dump a bunch of Sevin all around the entrance hole. And then they come out and they walk through it and they're toast. If you don't have Sevin, that's okay. The new bifenthrin is a wonderful product to put around the bees' holes. Again, they come in and out by walking through it, so you dump it around the hole actually itself. And you can use either granular or you can spray it out there also. And, it's not going to be a quick kill. I can do this. A quick kill in one day, but it will take several days. They will haul all their paper hive out onto the ground. Won't work. They'll all be dead. You'll find thousands of them. Don't walk barefoot around the hole, but you'll find thousands of them dead around the hole. So it will take care of them. It just takes a little while longer than the Sevin would, but it will take care of them. I had one. It wasn't that big. I'm terribly allergic to them. So I had a friend go out there with, 3 or 4 cans of wasp and bee killer. And it was in the evening. They were very quiet. And he just went over there and he just turned that thing upside down, sprayed one can. And as that was emptying out, he's got the next can going and then the next can going. And by the next day, wow, they were pretty much dead. So if you have someone that's willing to do that, he had to stay by that hole for, a good, 4 or 5 minutes. And, for those ones that will come out not quite dead, the only thing on their mind is to kill you. So they will sting you. So be careful. Don't go around them with shorts and T-shirts, long pants, long sleeve shirts. And remember, you're not going to outrun them. So forget that. And if you see a hornet's nest or a paper wasp nest that's just out of your reach, and if you just, climb a ladder, you can get up there. That is a fool's idea. You cannot outrun them when you're on a ladder with with a thing of spray, and you're not going to get away from there. They have more than one entrance or exit to the hole. And even though you've got two hands and you can be spraying two different holes on the nest, you're not going to they're still going to come out and they're going to come after you, and you cannot run fast enough. But if you do it, make sure that you have got your plan of how you're going to get out of there. I mean, don't go back for that ladder for quite a while. You want to get out of there because they're going to be flying in and out, and they're going to be mad. They just want to protect that nest. So do be careful. If you find one of those great big, like football size hornet's nest up in the tree, that's a professional needs to come and take care of that. Do not attempt to do that by yourself. Please do not do that unless you are a professional that always gets rid of these things. That is only for a professional. And honestly, unless it's like right next to your garage door where you have to go in and out all the time, I wouldn't even bother. They're going to die with the first frost. They all die. All the yellow jackets die. The one queen will end up in the leaf litter on the ground and overwinter there. She is the only one that's going to survive. So don't worry about all the other ones. Just let that go. And then when you can, in the next spring, when there's nothing in there, just knock it down. They're not going to use that nest over again. Ground bees usually don't use that same hole over again either. So, in the late fall, when they're not flying anymore, when they're all gone, you can take some dirt and just, cover the hole. It's an old abandoned, gopher or chipmunk run. You're not going to get dirt all the way through the chipmunk run. But if you just cover up, the first part of it, that will be fine. You won't get any yellow jackets there next year. The yellow jackets themselves do not dig a hole. They cannot dig a hole that big. There are solitary bees that dig a little tiny hole to lay their egg. Other than that, we don't have yellow jackets with little shovels digging huge holes. So they are using an abandoned chipmunk or gopher hole or whatever lived there before. So, they're not digging the holes. But, watch out for them, especially when you're mowing the lawn. That's when people usually find them, when we're just, placidly mowing the lawn, and all of a sudden there's 5 million yellow jackets on you because you're right over top of their nest. It's always kind of a startling thing to do. So keep that in mind. We need to take a break here because there are some messages, but we will be back with the garden show after these messages.
Let's get back to the Jan Meeuwsen Garden Show. Call the Master Gardener from De Bruyne Seeds in Zeeland now at 395-1450. Once again, here's Jan Meeuwsen.
All right, I'm back, and I see someone just sent me some pet pictures. So thank you very much. I will get those in the calendar once I get back to the store. I'm so busy trying to get the guy's lunch order ready so I can pick it up on the way back in. Heaven forbid I not have their lunch with me. Otherwise, they wouldn't be happy to see me. I have to be carrying something with me. All right. We were talking about the yellow jackets. I want to also remember the mosquitoes in certain areas are really thick. So remember West Nile, the Zika virus, EEE, all of those are spread by mosquitoes. So let's keep our pets up to date, vaccinated, and let's watch out for them. You might want to spray around your area for mosquitoes if you want to have a party or a picnic outside, just to be safe. There's too many things out there that you can get. So I just want you to stay safe. Remind you that the fall mums are in. They are so pretty. They're huge. The pansies are in. They're pretty. There's flowering cabbage and kale out there. They're all just absolutely gorgeous. And there is black oiled sunflower until the end of the month. It's going to be $15.98 for a 40-pound bag. This is the lowest price we have had in over 2 years. So if you want to get some black oil sunflower, I do not see it going any lower. I get the sunflower update every week, and I don't see where it's going to go any lower. So if you only hire, so if you need to stock up on some birdseed, black oil sunflower, $15.98. That would be a great thing. And Ken also put the 5-pound bag of athletic grass seed on sale right now. If you've been by DeBrine, you'll notice that we have these wooden crates outside that are filled with grass, and Caleb has labeled all of them of what they are, which mixes, or one is clover, obviously, but what mixes they are. And the athletic mix, which I have in my front lawn, is the prettiest one there. So we've got the athletic grass seed 5-pound bag, which will do 1,000 square feet. That's on sale for $12.98 right now. That's a good deal. I think it was $15.98 last week, so that's an excellent deal. Milorganite also is on sale, $9.98 a bag. We don't care how many bags you get. I get people that call me up and go, but I want 12 bags. Do you have them? I have 48 skids of them. So, yes, I think I have 12 bags. So don't worry about it. We've got it. We got you covered, whatever you need. We've got it. We've got it made. Grass seed, we've got plenty of grass seed. We're still in the prime time to put down grass seed, August 15 to October 15. So if you need to put down grass seed, and why would you not want to be outside on a lovely day like today? It is perfect. We also have the overseeder. If you need to overseed something, you can actually do it and rent the billy goat, it's called, and overseed it with that. So, because you do need to get that seed incorporated with that top 1/8 inch of grass. And if you're putting grass seed over top of existing grass seed, sometimes it's hard to get it down to the ground. So this actually gets the seed down where it needs to be. Just remember, don't put it that deep. Now, I was at a trade show last week, and it's all for hardware and lawn and garden products. It was huge down in Houston. Hot. But I saw a lot of places, saw a lot of things. And one of the things was like decon and all of these mouse baits, etc. And I was just kind of awestruck because people seem to be ignoring. We'll carry on with this after we talk to this person. So, good morning. You're on the Garden Show.
Yes, good morning. How are you, Jan?
I am well. How about you?
I'm good. What a beautiful day.
Oh, it is.
So I have a question. I have an oriental type tree that's in our front berm. And one day I went out there and I saw dead on the top. So I looked underneath, and up underneath it's just completely white, powdery throughout the whole tree, and now it's starting to die. Is there something that I can do, or do I need to call some type of landscape?
I would get some fungicide on that ASAP.
It's already died in a couple spots on top. I don't even know if that's going to come back.
Yeah. If you can take your fingernail or a screwdriver or whatever and just scrape back that little bit of bark on the surface and see if it's green underneath. If it's green underneath, it's still got life there. If it's just brown, there's no life there anymore.
Yeah, it's just brown in a couple of areas now, like it's spread throughout the whole tree. I couldn't believe it when I looked underneath, and the whole entire thing underneath is completely white. How that happened, I have no idea.
I am just heartbroken for you because I know how expensive those are.
Well, it's in a berm area where it's the main focus of the tree is the main focus there.
Yeah.
So now I'm going to have to, I don't know what I'll do because it is taking over it. I think we're past the point of going to fungicide.
Then you're going to have to pull it out, and
Yep.
and the sooner the better.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Would it be done this fall then or something?
I would do it this fall. I know it hurts. Oh my gosh, it hurts me. But
Well, I'll
yeah,
have to call a landscaper to come do it because that's something that we can't do. So we'll have to have somebody come and do that. I don't know.
yeah, it's
Burn area.
probably best. And then before they might have some ideas. They might want to cover it with black plastic on the ground there to try kill whatever it was that killed your tree.
Okay.
Yeah, but I would not be in.
I have sedums right next to that tree, and those sedums seem to be okay.
Okay.
But they're overgrown too. It's a berm that's been out there probably about 28 years. So it's like it's one of those things when it gets to be that point, everything needs to be redone.
Yeah, I've done that already too. It's not a cheap thing to do either. Oh, but
I think it was maybe have the tree taken out and then not put nothing in there until next year.
Yeah, I would wait until next year, and then see what it's like there, and then put something else. Oh, I feel so bad.
I know because the sedums are right next to it, so I'm not sure how they would do that, but that's what their expertise is. I'll let them deal with it.
That's it. If they think that they still look healthy, then I probably would leave them there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're overgrown too, so the whole area is overgrown. Dune grass, everything. So, all right. Thank you so much. I hope you have a good Saturday. Thank you.
You too. Thank
all right,
you.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Again, our phone number is 616-395-1450. Quit laughing. I'm staring at myself, Houston, and I stopped at a number of the rodenticide booths like Decon and Ramic and those sorts of people. And at Decon, they were pushing a new product, which they do a lot of those little packs that you throw in your attic, and you just throw them in there, and they eat their way in there, and they chew it, and then they die somewhere else. That's what Decon's known for. Now they're coming out. Now they are coming out this year with little plastic bags of just the bait, not with the box where you can just throw the bait out where you see the thing. There is proposed legislation in the U.S. Senate that as of right now, they're figuring in February they're going to sign it into law, which would restrict homeowner and even like landscape people to the only thing they can get would be the pre-filled disposable bait stations and the gummy worms for moles. That would be the only thing that you would be able to get for poison for your rodents. No, nothing for like, the poison peanuts, gone. Any other, the bait station where you put the bait in it and you can reuse it, gone. Unless it's these small little bait stations, gone. Those little, and Decon, they're coming out with some new loose. And I'm like, and I asked the rep, how come you're doing this when in February, this is all going to be gone? It's going to be restricted use only. Restricted use only through the entire United States. So all you're going to get is the little bait boxes and the gummy worms. And he knew nothing about it. So I'm assuming nobody knows anything about it. So I'm going to tell you and warn you about it. We do have a caller on the line. Good morning, caller. You're on The Garden Show.
Hi, Jan.
Hi.
Frequent caller and love to listen to your program so much. I wanted to say that, 1970, long time ago, we're living in a little tiny house in Detroit, and we put out decon for a bunch of mice, and they died in the walls, and that smell was so terrible.
Yep.
And then it was the middle of the winter, and then a whole bunch of black flies came out from under the sink after these mice were decomposing. Would you again tell about, is it the home defense that you use? I would never use anything like that poison again because of, it was not nice at all. And this home defense, whatever you spray around the perimeter, I'm all for stuff like that. Keep them out where they belong.
Yes.
And that's just my comment. And I'm so thankful that something else has come on the market these years instead of that stuff where they die in the walls. So that's all I have to say.
Okay.
And thank you so much.
You're welcome. Yes, if you've got an insect problem, I don't mind insects when they're outside. I mean, we had that hatch this week of some small little fungus gnat type things, but I don't mind them. But keep them outside. Home defense around your entire property, under the sink, under the baseboards, works extremely well. We need to stop because the news needs to come on next. I can't believe it. The news is more important than my show, but obviously it is. But we will be back after the news is over, so we'll see you then.
Let's get back to the Jan Meeuwsen Garden Show. Call the Master Gardener from De Bruyne Seeds in Zeeland now at 395-1450. Once again, here's Jan Meeuwsen.
Oh, I'm sorry. We're back. I'm sleeping. My goodness. Hit me over the head next time, Maura. We were talking about the rodenticide problem that we're going to have come next February, where all we're going to be allowed to have is just the little place packets and the gummy worms. That's going to be it. So if you don't want that to happen, we have until February, I think, 23, when they actually just finally finalize it. They asked for rebuttals that came last week. So hopefully there were enough rebuttals that the professionals don't need to use respirators and gloves. And my goodness sakes, it was terrible. And I know that's going to be a loss on farms if you can't try to get rid of mice. That's going to be a hard one. So, if you might want to get a hold of your legislator and ask about it. It's one of those things that's kind of flown so far under the radar that nobody, and I mean, even the decon people are bringing out something that in February they're not going to be able to sell. So that's kind of threw me for a loop when, and I even went back online to see, is that rodenticide something that was just someone's imagination or not? And it is not. So just kind of keep that in mind in the back of your head. You may want to stop in at De Bruyne's and pick something up while we still have it, and we still can sell it. That's probably a good idea, because I'm assuming that it's going to go like glyphosate and just disappear, and we don't have that product to use anymore. Oh, that's life. Okay. I'm going to remind you, if you have your amaryllis sitting outside, shame on you. It needs to come inside now. It needs to go nighty-night for the next couple of months. So we need to bring that amaryllis, and I don't care how beautiful it looks, needs to come inside, needs to go into a cool, dark room. Now, whether that's your garage or your furnace room or your basement, wherever you've got that's cool and dark. And then turn it over on its side. And you're not going to water it, even though you're going to want to water it because those leaves are so pretty. No water. So bring it inside, cool, dark room, turn it on its side. And I will tell you when you can magically go down there and cut off the old leaves, turn it back upright, and then start watering it. But that's not until like Thanksgiving. So we are going to bring our amaryllis in, and we're going to turn it on its side, and we're going to let it sleep for a little bit. Just let it stop having to work. So this is kind of like, it's vacation. So we're not going to call it going dormant. It's just the amaryllis's vacation for a couple of months. So do that right now. Your rest of your house plants that are outside and enjoying this wonderful weather yet, move your outside plants to a shadier location, especially if they've been in the sunshine on your deck. Move them to a shadier spot of the deck or under a tree or something. They need to it's hard on them if they go from direct sunlight and then go directly indoors. And I don't care if you put them in the southern window that gets all the sun it can, it's still a whole different intensity of sun if you just put them inside. So you're going to need to put them in the shade first, get them a little more acclimated to not having bright sunlight on them. And then we can bring them indoors. And when we bring them indoors, we check for hitchhikers. We don't want to repeat Jan's problem with the 3 toads running around her living room the one time. So we check for toads on the bottom, and then we check for any insects on the top. And I found some great new spray. It's a little pump bottle of spray of it's going to be 70% cold pressed neem oil. And you need to get the cold pressed neem oil. Just regular neem oil is not going to help kill anything unless you can cover the entire top and bottom of all the leaves. And that's a hard thing to do. And if you do that, actually, then no oxygen can get in and you can actually kill your plant. So you want the cold pressed neem oil. You just have to spray the top. It will kill it will kill the mites if they're trying to sneak in, or any of the insects that will come in. So that's going to be, I thought that was a wonderful idea. And it's you can spray it around, I don't know, your kids or your pets. If your dog is sitting right next to you, it's no big deal. When I taught school in India, we used to take the leaves from the neem tree and crush them, and then we'd rub them on our arms to keep the flies away. And it did. If you got enough neem oil on you, it did work. And it wasn't the nicest smelling stuff in the world, but if you didn't want to spray DEET one more time, you could do the neem oil leaves. If you had a neem tree, we don't have them here, but we did right outside the physics window. There was a neem tree, and there were no screens on any of those windows in that school. We were lucky to have windows, and you wanted to keep them open because you wanted some fresh air to at least come through, along with the monkeys that came in the classroom all the time. But the neem trees, it did do some good. So, but the cold pressed neem is what you want to look for when you're looking for neem, and it is an organic use pesticide. So that's kind of nice. I also picked up some leaf shine for some people that wanted that. So I've listened to what you've wanted. It won't be in right away, but we will be getting that in. I need to stop and take yet another break. This is going by so fast, but we will be back after these messages.
Let's get back to the Jan Meeuwsen Garden Show. Call the Master Gardener from De Bruyn Seeds in Zeeland now at 395-1450. Once again, here's Jan Meeuwsen.
And we are back. I waited until you pointed. I wasn't just talking away to nobody here this time. So that's always good. We were talking about rodenticides. We're talking about bringing your amaryllis and your house plants inside for the winter. All of a sudden, it's going to get cold at night, and they can't be out there. So do watch the weather. Listen to the weather here on WHTC so we don't have that problem. We need to do certain things around the house right now. We mentioned this earlier before, but the insects are looking to come in right now. We don't want them in because they sit and they come out in the middle of winter, like the box elder bugs. They come out here in the studio in the middle of winter, and all of a sudden there'll be a box elder running across the screen or across the keyboard. Yes, they don't do any harm. They're not going to eat anything. They're not going to bite you. They're not going to do anything. It's just, I personally don't prefer to have them in the house with me during the winter. They're not my pets. They're not invited guests. So what I do this time of year is I walk around my house with the home defense. I love this stuff. There is even a new home defense out there right now that it you can use it indoors, even though you can use the regular stuff indoors. The new home defense doesn't stink like insecticide. It's very pretty smelling, and it works very, very well. So you can spray outdoors, go around the house. I want to go from the house out 4 feet and then go up the foundation and then around any doors or windows or like around the dryer vent or anything that you might have. Spray all around there so the bugs can't come in. And I thought, well, that's, I didn't know how that worked very well. When I always spray like the threshold of my sliding glass door, and I get crickets just outside my house. And I had just sprayed the home defense on the outside of my door because sometimes it's open. And I saw this cricket come hopping over top of that thing. And by the time it got to my chair, which is like 6 feet away from the door, the cricket was almost dead. So, wow, that happened really quick to a big insect. So just think about little ants. And so they're not even going to get through that barrier. So that I thought, perfect. I love this stuff. Won't come in. I don't like sharing my inside with especially ants. So you might want to take the inside home defense and go under the sink around where the pipes come up. You're going to want to go under the baseboards where they come in. Just spray anywhere you think that they might come in. I don't think I would spray it on top of the countertop, even though I think it might be safe, food safe. I still wouldn't do it. They basically come up through the ground. They don't just magically appear on your countertop. They got to come up somewhere. So make sure that's all sprayed and ready to go. Oh, I also saw at the show, there is this stuff that it's the most, the strongest insecticide they have. And it's this little tiny bottle of a dust. And it's meant for ants and roaches. And roaches are really hard. I lived in Florida. They're really hard to kill. Ants are much easier to kill. But this stuff's got, you push it and it's got kind of a puff of air comes out. And you really can't see anything. But the guy did have a piece of black paper there and a flashlight. And you could see this dust coming there. This dust, and you kind of spray it under the baseboards, under the sink, anywhere you see ants or roaches coming in. It lasts up to 2 years. And it is the strongest insecticide that's out on the market right now that's for home use. So this is a little bottle. You can use it anywhere in the kitchen. It's not a problem. And you just kind of sweep it under the baseboards and around, and you're going to kill all the ants. And if you do get a roach every once in a while, I hated those things when I lived in Florida, but this will kill them. So I wish I'd had this, back 20 years ago when I lived in Florida, but hey, time changes. But I saw that at the show, had to have that. A lot of times it's just what I like at the show. So, it's kind of fun to go to these shows every once in a while. I saw this thing, and I could not figure out for the life of me what in the world it was. It was on a pole, and it was an orange thing on a pole. And honestly, what it looked like is one of those poles that you see by the side of the road that will have looks like a little A-frame house roof on it, and it will have numbers on it, and it's for the crop dusters when they're spraying. That's what it looked like to me, and I'm thinking, now, how many people really need that sort of thing? So I had to go and check on that. And actually what it was it's a roof rake, and it just wasn't fully extended. And so he showed me, and I'm like, I used to have a roof rake, but during the, you can only use it in the winter, and I've got right above my front porch is I always need to take the roof rake out and get excess snow, because that's where it always builds up, and get it off the roof. But, what do you do with that roof rake in the summer? and it somehow disappeared out of my garage. So I don't know when. It was hard to use. This one, I could pick it up, and even with my bad shoulders, I could actually move that roof rake. And he had what was supposed to be snow, and I could actually pull that right off that thing. It was lightweight, and it folded down into this bag that was maybe 2 feet tall by maybe 8 inches wide. And I'm like, wow, I like this thing because you can store it away in a bag, hang it up on the garage wall. And, during the summer, it's not going to get in the way, and it was not a big thing. But it also had an interchangeable head, so you could actually put other things on it if you had a brush or whatever and you needed to clean off the side of your house, or maybe you want to wash a window. You got little different things that you could just screw onto it. I thought it was a great idea. I don't know if Ken's really as sold on it as I am, but we might see that at DeBrine's, or we might not. I'm not quite sure. There's so many fun things out there like that could be coming around, and all of the pretty bird baths that were there. Oh my goodness. I loved. Every one of them is round. I loved the square one. It just set aside the whole thing. It was a square bird bath. It was absolutely stunning. I loved that thing. And I'm thinking, well, now can I fit that in my backyard? So I'm always trying to fit it in my yard, and hopefully it will fit into your yards too. But hopefully I did my job. I ordered the right stuff, and we'll have a fun spring come next spring. But just remember, not this week Tuesday, but next week Tuesday, it will be Tuesday morning at DeBrine Seed Store with WHTC, so that should be fine. But I will remind you, this Tuesday, I will be here at 8:35 with Dan for the garden party. We kind of go over quickly what's going on at DeBrine's, and then I'll be back here at 10 o'clock, between 10 and 11, for Talk of the Town and the garden party. I'm getting these names right. I am so proud of myself. But the most important thing is I will be back here next Saturday at 11:05 or whenever the news is done for the garden show. This is the most important show of the week as far as I'm concerned here at DeBrine's. It's always good to know what's going on in the lawn and garden thing. I'm trying to keep you up to date of everything I saw at the show. So I hope we got you up to date. But you know what? You can always call me at DeBrine's, 616-772-2316, or you can stop in at DeBrine's on October 3, and you can be on the air with me, too. How fun is that? But until next week, go green.
You've been listening to the Jan Meeuwsen Garden Show on 99.7, 1450 WHTC and WHTC.com. If you wish to hear this or other programs hosted by the Master Gardener from DeBrine Seeds in Zeeland, check out the podcast section of our website, WHTC.com, and listen or download for free. The Jan Meeuwsen Garden Show is a presentation of 99.7 and 1450 WHTC.